I'm Andrew Jenkins from Catalyst RVA, and today we are going to talk about how you can escape the never-ending video verification hell. Listen, Google is a master of change. Sometimes I wonder if they're just sitting around a table just thinking, how can I make this more complicated? And that's how we have the dumpster fire that Google is today. We've gone from verifying via postcards to this glitchy, laggy video verification process that everybody hates. But that's okay, because today I'm going to teach you exactly how I re-verified my Google business profile after the pin was sent to Timbuktu. And I'm going to walk you through the same exact thing without ripping your hair out. So let's head on over to the screen share and get this party started. Okay, before we get into this, if you want to copy this document, all you have to do is find me on social media at CatalystRVA, add me and send me a DM, and I will go ahead and send you over the link to this document. If you wanted to follow along, there's also a little checklist here at the very end that you can use to plan out your video verification. Because the link I will send you is going to be a live link, you're going to have access to that. Any changes that I make to the document will be reflected in the future as well. So let's get started. What is our problem? Well, the Google verification process is an absolute dumpster fire, as we mentioned. That's it. That's the whole problem. So let me just give you some background, because a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that for some odd reason, my Google business profile was now pinned about 10 or 15 miles away in a random shopping center. In fact, Catalyst RVA's marketing agency was suddenly located inside of a grocery store, which was a bit odd. So me being, the idiot that I am, I decided to move my pin back to the correct location. Immediately, I was unverified and I received a barrage of emails and notifications saying that I had committed a cardinal sin. So let's get into this. It's a pretty basic process. Normally, if I look at a Google business profile, the main issue that you see that causes verifications to get denied is simply that the profile is not set up right. So I'm assuming you are not someone who wants to get verified only to have to record another verification video just a week later, which I have heard of. In fact, somebody reached out to me the other day that had that issue. So hopefully that's not you. If it isn't, let's go ahead and make sure that your profile is correct before we do your video verification. This works way better if you do it beforehand versus coming back later after you've ripped out a bunch of your hair.
No! No! No!
These are the common items I'm going to go through with you that a lot of times I see that need to be corrected before attempting to do your video verification. And the first one is your business name. It's common practice for many agencies to attempt to keyword stuff your business name, meaning, you have a legal business name of Frank's Plumbing, and you decide you are going to stuff some locations in there. Frank's Richmond, Virginia Plumbing and Toilet Fixing. Or whatever nonsense you decide to stuff in there. A lot of agencies will recommend this because it absolutely does help you rank better. However, it puts a little bit of a target on your back. So it's important to make sure that your business name accurately reflects and matches with your legal business documentation. If your business name is, XYZ Roofing, don't stuff other stuff in there. It's going to cause you issues. It's going to get you suspended eventually. That being said, if you do want to be able to legally keyword stuff your business name, all you have to do is apply for a DBA. You can legally change your business name using the DBA, check your local laws, regulations, things like that. But as long as that change is reflected across all of your documents, your business cards, all of that kind of stuff, you can legally get that benefit of basically keyword stuffing your business name. But if you're cheating the system, fix it. They're watching you. Next up is your address. Your address should match with the actual business documentation that you have for your company. That means if your business is, legitimately located at your home, you don't have an office, that's fine. Your business location should be your home. If you have a service area business, you can hide that address. A lot of times what I see is, people are sort of trying to skirt a gray area because you will rank around the location that your business is registered, which can be a benefit to having a business registration address in a highly affluential area in your community, because you're going to be able to sell things a little bit easier at a little bit higher prices that way. That being said, Google is smart, they know, and you need to register at your actual business address, especially with video verification today. You're not going to be able to cheat the system the same way that you used to. If you do have questions on when and how you should set up your address, I've got a couple of links here. If you need to learn how to hide your address, that's in here. It goes over how that works. I've also included a link here on understanding service area businesses, what those mean, how you would classify those. The rule of thumb technically is, if you have a staffed physical location that customers can walk into and receive service, then show your address. If you don't, you should be hiding your address and setting up a service area business. Now, this one should be common sense because you've probably, if you're on this video, you've probably been suspended by this one before. But please, for the love of God, stop using P.O. boxes and virtual addresses. It will not work. You're going to get suspended. If somebody has a SEO consultant or anybody who knows what the heck they're doing and they come across your listing, they're going to report it, and your business listing is going to get flagged. So just stop trying. It doesn't make sense. It's silly. So the last couple here, phone numbers. You need to make sure that the primary phone number on your Google business profile matches your personal phone number, right? Because a lot of times people will use tracking phone numbers, as their primary contact information, for example. So, those contact numbers, the tracking numbers, you can see when someone clicks through them, and they'll automatically forward over to your personal phone number. You don't want to use those through the verification process, but if you want to put them back in there after you change, go for it. Put them back if you need to use them. Business hours. This is a ranking signal that has, as of April 19th, 2024, has become pretty popular. Recently, what we're starting to see is that businesses that are not listed as open will tend to get less traffic during their closed hours. So a lot of people, what they're trying to do now is they're trying to change all of their business hours to 24 hours a day, which is really, really cool until you get caught and your stuff gets suspended. So I would personally recommend, if you accept emails, phone calls, and you take business later than what you are officially listed on hours for your Google business profile, change it to match when you technically will handle customers. If that means if someone calls you in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. and you will pick up the phone, sure, 24 hours, rock and roll. But eventually, this is, again, another something that will get flagged. And lastly, this is something you'll want to make sure that you've done before you try the video verification, is update all of this information and make sure that it matches on all of what they were called their prominent citations, right? If you search your business name in Google, you're going to have a handful of things other than your website that should come up. Things like Facebook, or Better Business Bureau profile, Yelp, LinkedIn, Instagram, Yellow Pages, YouTube, Twitter. There's a ton of them. Make sure that your information matches across all of these different channels before you apply for the video verification. Okay, let's move on to what your video needs to cover. These are the 3 boxes that we need to check to make sure that every single one of your video verifications is successful. I've also included a couple of examples for each of them. Make sure, show something from each category, but some of these have some overlap. And realistically, show extra stuff versus less stuff if you can, right? It's going to make it easier for them to verify that you're a legitimate business. Up first, your location should match your business profile. To make sure we satisfy this one, all you have to do is make sure you start your video off, which is recommended, outside, right? show your front door, show you walking up to your front door, give them a view of businesses that are around you, make sure that you're looking at street signs. If you have, street signs within eyesight, show as much as you humanly can, right? For myself, I started out my video verification showing a business that's directly across the street. I had to zoom way in to be able to see the logo, but I saw it. And then I showed the building number that I'm in, right? I'm in an apartment complex, and you'll see why that can complicate things as we go through this process. There was no convenient way to show a street sign, unfortunately, from my front door, so I wasn't able to do that. But pick something out to kind of show the location so that they can verify the video is being taken from the specific location that you say your business is. Number 2, your business name and category should match your business profile. Verifying your business name is probably the easiest of each of these requirements. You should be able to share some of your branded swag, aka boom, hats, business cards, vehicle wraps, anything that you have that shows your business name. Being that an online marketing agency is, kind of what I'm running, my tools are pretty much just a computer. So I laid out a ton of my branded clothing. Obviously, I showed you the hat. And then I tag teamed that with a bank statement showing my specific name and my specific address that kind of overlapped a little bit with some of these other ones. The last thing that you need to prove in your verification video is that you have the authority.
Respect my authority!
To represent your business, right? You are the person in charge. You got to unlock doors, right? Or, if you've gone through a couple of video verification attempts now, just kick the that's a great way to show that you're the responsible party or irresponsible party. It doesn't matter. You can unlock branded vehicles. You can, show online tools, ownership of the bank account, like I mentioned before. I did this a few times, actually, as I sprinted through my building.
Fast football.
And then unlocked my personal door, logged into my Stripe account, and then also showed my bank statement. So you might have to get a little bit creative, and you're going to find out why. If you've run into any issues going through this process, you're going to realize that your video needs to be very concise, very short, to make sure that you don't get stuck uploading it. And so that's why you may need to break out your running shoes. So let's plan your video out. Now that you know what you need to do, let's talk about yours specifically. There's a couple of issues that I want to help you avoid kind of going into this process that are very frustrating. What I realized is that many of the verification attempts, they're not going through as a result of the kind of finicky, glitchy system that they've created, but there is a trick. Change your camera settings to what I would call potato quality. Keep your videos under 2 minutes. If you do these two things, you're going to dramatically change the chances of your verification going off without a hitch. I'll include a link in this document as well to give you kind of a rough idea of how to change your video settings as well to the potato setting that I mentioned. It's important to also take a moment to kind of plan out your video. I didn't just, start sprinting up and down my hallways and, the elevator, setting up cones and wearing my vest and all that kind of stuff, my orange vest to make sure that nobody got in my way. I set out a plan first, right? So get all of your documents in order, everything that you want to show, get programs pulled up on your computer, your desktop, give yourself a few practice runs even. This may mean you looking like you're an absolute feral, insane human being, but, that's okay. You're going to get verified. For me, this is kind of how I prepared. I had my Stripe login page pulled up. I had a stack of business cards strewn across my desk after the third try. Small pile of branded swag, hats, shirts, stuff like that. I had my bank statement showing with the important information kind of blocked out, right? They don't want to have a bunch of personal identifying information in the videos. And then I located a few businesses that I could see kind of from the front doorway of my building. So now that we're ready, here's what we're going to do. We're going to log into Google Maps, right? We're going to use the map app. If you try and do this on your computer, it's going to send you directly to the app. So just shortcut that, right? Maps on your phone, open, bottom right-hand corner. You're going to be able to look at My Business if you're logged into My Business. And then, yeah, we're going to do the video verification. So there's another article that I would like to reference here just to give you some more context. There's a White Spark verification article. I've tagged it in here if you want some more context on some of this stuff. But you are prepared. If you've made your plan, you've gotten everything ready, you've opened up the app, you've changed your video settings, you got your plan in place, your stuff's laid out, you've moved all of the kids' toys so that you don't trip on, something and fall and break your leg, and you are ready to rock and roll, right? So you can use this video checklist as you're going through the planning process just to make sure that you don't miss anything. And I've also included a couple of little recommendations that they have here. I like this one: avoid capturing faces or sensitive documents while they request that you show them sensitive documents. That one's helpful. So hopefully that helped you guys. If you have any questions, if you want access to this document, like I said, find me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, at Catalyst RVA or Catalyst RVA Marketing Agency. Follow me and then send me a DM and I'll get you access to this document. If you do have questions going through the process, you want me to clarify something, reach out to me. I'd be happy to chat with you and help walk you through the process of getting this sorted out, because it is absolutely frustrating and I totally understand. So hopefully that helped you guys, and I will chat with you all very soon. Peace.